is that what we do today will set us up for tomorrow. So Cliff McKnight is here to talk with you about how you can make things thrive in 2025. I mean, starting today or starting already. You know, they say the best time uh, to plant a tree is 10 years ago. The next best time is now. Uh, Here's the thing. I am hoping that I can attract those of you who want to create a legacy or extend, expand, launch, you know, supercharge your legacy. I should say continue because we wouldn't be here without those before us who sacrificed and sacrificed, who took risks, who, literally gave up some of their dreams so that they could have uh, space for their offspring to realize the dream. So I'm going to perpetuate that. I'm going to encourage that. I'm going to expand that. And the way I hope to do that, if you're over 36, 46, 56, 66, over 70, you've been through enough already in life and you probably really get a lot out of this. If you're under that and you pay attention to this, why shouldn't you benefit as well? You have a lot of resources already, but I'm here to say to you that life experience coupled with the beauty of the day, the diversity, the technology, the global communication capabilities, make it possible. Make it make it insanely possible for us to create wealth faster, for us to create possibility faster. And yes, we've got issues that happen faster, but we connectively can make things happen. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a resource to you as well as to take advantage of whatever resources you would avail me of. Now, in YouTube, I'm really thinking for me that I'm going to create a mainstead for YouTube because it's there. Once you post it, it's there. These other places, I think they do the same similar kinds of things, but I just, they talk about monetization, and a lot of these kids are doing well already. Power to you. I'm learning from you. You can learn from them directly. I can share with you who I've learned from specifically, as well as those who maybe I probably won't talk a lot about those whose stuff I went through and that didn't help me because it varies from person to person. Do what works for you. I say if I got something positive to say, I'll say it. I'd rather say nothing than to say something negative if I can help it. Those sometimes that get tried. I know we all get tried. But here's the joy. Right now, if I want to monetize, if you look at my account now, you'll see that I don't have a whole lot of much. So if you want to get started and grow your channel while I grow mine, I can share it with you real time. If you're already well ahead and you have some ideas and suggestions, very open to it. But I will let you know that I spent a couple of years of research. I have it all in my Google Drive. I started taking notes in the beginning, and then after a while, I just put the title of the video that I watched and sort of what the content was. And I've kept up with those. I can revisit them anytime. And at some point, I'll make that available to you as well if you'd like. The genius, the beauty of what's going on. Hello there. The genius and beauty of what's happening is that if we work together in any kind of weather, we'll be better. So I am going to continue to give of myself, try to get this thing monetized too. They said something about 4,000 watch hours. I'm not quite sure how that works, but I can tell you, I think doing live helps. I can tell you so far, I have all of like 9 watch hours. So I have a little ground to cover. I don't know how many of you can check your YouTube. Get YouTube Studio if you don't already have it. Go to your Play Store or what do you call it, App Store, and look up YouTube Studio. Download that app and you'll see a whole lot of insight, okay? Analytics and other things. So doing those kinds of little things, I'm learning about what they call thumbnails and end screens that very useful. They kind of help you to do a video and another video and another video and maybe link people to your video. I don't know if you've noticed, you go to a video, at the end of the video, there's a recommendation. Often it's somebody else's video. There are ways where you see some of them will have their own videos recommended. There's a little tip there. You can go directly to YouTube and ask the question for anything you don't know. It's amazing to me. I mean, I've had my dishwasher repair and my garbage disposal repair insights, my car. I mean, things not necessarily were of the mind to do myself, but when I hired someone or engaged someone in the family to help me, I had something to share, to offer, to make the problem solve more quickly. So if you follow what I'm saying, I'm sorry, I was just trying to keep up with what you're writing and saying here. What I am suggesting is that YouTube can be a whole lot more than entertainment. A lot of us use it for entertainment. There's a whole lot of what to do and how to do it. I just suggest we go and take advantage of it. You haven't ever explained what your live is about. Thank you. See, I didn't know that. I am actually introducing to you what my whole channel is going to be about, or is about, and hopefully that will cover this live too. What I'm talking to you about today is how you can begin to live a legacy and leave a legacy. So first, I want to uplift you financially, spiritually, emotionally, and maybe even physically, because that's my own journey that I have to accomplish as well. And how those things are happening, my counseling background and education background, I hope to leverage that so that it would be easy access, easily delivered, that it will be edutainment, not just education, not just entertainment, but entertainment that educates. I got that first term from Mario Van Peebles, who is an activist. If you look him up, he's a great influence. He coined that phrase, at least the first time I heard of it, many, many years ago. So in addition to giving you good information and enjoyable information, my hope is that that information will be productive tools for you to create the life you want for you and for your family, generations to come. Wealth building. If you go to my Facebook groups, you'll see I have joyfully getting from here to there, so that we don't just have to mud through life or struggle through life to get things accomplished, but that we joyfully go through life, so that we don't just go through, we grow through the things that occur. And that even those things that aren't positive that happen to us, we can be blessed and transmute those things into a positive outcome anyway. There's some things that just royally suck. There's no way on green earth that I can say that was a good thing. No, there are those things. But I will say that even when yuck and horror happen, trauma happens, there are ways that we can grow out of them, from them, and still perpetuate a more joyful life. Now, it's not easy, and nor is it, what is the word when you say desired? It's not something we look forward to. Things happen. We can't do anything. We can't unhappen them, but we can still grow and use. It's almost like the devil, create a horrible situation. You do if you study judo, aikido, look those up. They take the energy from the negative and redirect it to their benefit. So that's kind of what I'm hoping I can assist you with in terms of your life challenges. I can tell you that the book I wrote, If You Can't Calm the Waters, Learn to Ride the Waves, How to Succeed in Turbulent Times, endeavor to introduce that concept and that notion to you. One of the things that I like most about it that I'll mention to you is to be mindful of the frequency, the channel that you tune in on. And what that essentially means is that if you focus on a thing, you are in essence tuning in on that thing. If you ever wanted to buy a new car and you decided upon the car and you start looking around. Everywhere you go, you see that car. I heard Tony Robbins use that illustration some years ago as well. But anytime you think of something and you make a decision about something, you can attract that. You can notice that. There were no more cars on the road like that, perhaps, but because your focus, your attention is there, you began to notice it more. So, the same thing I would say to you when you think about what you want in life, focus on that. Don't think about the problems because you'll end up attracting that or seeing more of that. You can get right down and depressed about it. Now, when you go through it and you meet somebody who's gone through problems like yours and they've had success after that, focus on that some as a means of saying, well, great, if they can do it, I can do it too. Remember that I mentioned in previous sessions that we are all connected. And I mean, quite literally, there is an interconnection factor that not only affects us here today, but we are connected to those who came before us directly, all the way back as far as we can go. Before humankind was even on the planet, we were being prepared, our existence was being prepared by the single-celled organisms. I saw a TED talk that really blew me away because I've often held the notion of being interconnected, but he quite literally talked about that what do we say? You know, when a thing dies, it doesn't just atrophy, it disintegrates, right? Well, the byproduct of the disintegration of these single-celled organisms all the way up to the dinosaurs is that they assisted us in being here today. The single-celled organisms created what was necessary for the atmosphere that is breathable to us to happen, and all of the things that facilitate soil and plant life and all of that, which contributes to our existence. Again, oxygen coming out, carbon dioxide being sucked in, all so that we can exist. Now, there are other certainly benefits and other things, but just recognize everything in your life, if you put your mindset to it, can contribute to your well-being and to those that you care for. Now, I know that's an overstatement in some ways. There are those things, as I said earlier, that are just dastardly. I used to do work for the police, different police departments, and man, they have to look at the underbelly of society, of life, and all kinds of horror. And of course, we see a lot about those rogue police officers, and we had a large paintbrush to kind of put them all in one basket. But I have friends and family who are excellent police officers, so I know that it's not a broad stroke thing. It's just a few bad apples that can really destroy it, and maybe even a part of a system that needs to be revamped. But just note, we can create the world we want, even our world. I have shrunk to our world. I've expanded. I remember a time where well, I'm just talking to you honestly, I got right depressed because there was so much that the world needed, and I felt like I was falling very short, woefully short. And to be honest, I don't think I was doing all that I could do. And still to this day, I'm not. But I'm feeling differently about it. I'm feeling better because I'm using, like this kind of channel, this kind of thing to help encourage. And I'm excited about that. I know there's more I could do. But here's the joy. Here's the thing that got me out of depression. I began to see people who were doing fantastic things, some of whom were doing things far better than I could do. And it helped lift me up. It was after a prayer. I will have to tell you that I got so down in there that I prayed because it was not pretty. And the answer to my prayer was, hey, just do your part. I'm in charge. I got this. And here's some proof. And that proof was showing me all these people, probably some of you, who are touching lives in their own ways. And fast forward to this today, I did post some of my good friends who are authors, and they are doing things. I didn't include everyone. I didn't mention Melanie Inspires Thomas. Look her up on social media. She put out a book, 101 Truths, I think was the name of it. I probably mentioned Cyrus Webb. I'm sure I did. Cyrus Webb and Dr. Mark Holland and Barbara Talley, whose daughter, Radiance Talley, is also publishing now and published and doing a lot of great things. And I mentioned Bernice Wright Simpson. She might say Bernice Simpson, who wrote a wonderful book, a heart touching, uh, that's called "Are You Really Listening?" So, Cyrus Webb's book, by the way, and now with my poor brain, if you look up his page, you'll see it. He's an author more than once. He's got some other things done, but he has the daily words that you can look. Kathy Hood Kramer, a beautiful book that you can look up. Anyway, if you go there, I'm sure I'm putting them up there on web different ways. What are you doing? Somebody says, any kids? Do I have kids? Yes, I do. I have two adult daughters now, both of whom have touched the world and are doing some magnificent things. My youngest, who is in school, she works in the school system in the D.C. area. My gosh, she works with people who have learning disabilities or with autistic or different things that are excited about life and who are learning and who are learning to earn through her programs and things. My other daughter has been in advertising and marketing and photography, and she's a magnificent photographer. So you have an opportunity to meet them and to see their work over time. And I encourage you to stay in the loop and tell me what you want from me as well. Now, my legacy information again, I intend to cover how to create more money, more wealth using what technology is offering us. I intend to help you to be more joyful, less anxiety, because as these years go by, you get those lumps and bumps and bruises. But we don't just go through it, we grow through it. Like Ona Brown, the daughter of Les Brown. You all heard Les Brown have said. So Dr. Mark Holland has written that. God, he's got 2 or 3 books coming out at once. One is called The Comeback, and the other one is Push Through. I encourage you to push through and to pick up a copy of his book too. So those are the things that are really happening with me. I want to tell you that if you intend, if you are interested in creating a significant income or just a few $100s using social media, I'll talk about those things and how you can be this far along your journey and still create those possibilities. And you needn't be, as long as you just get started today. Okay? I do voiceover work. I do keynote addresses and speeches, and I've been a guest speaker in a number of events. I'm about to re-up my podcast. I had a podcast back before podcasts were even popular. And I see a lot of ways that folks are profiting from that, but I see it as a great resource for those who are like driving back and forth to work and they don't get to sit and watch this, that they can listen. So I hope to be a voice because my passion, by the way, if you look before I closed out a business, as I looked at myself and considered myself to be retired instead of reinvented, I've now decided I'm reinventing, transformation, right? But the goal, the vision is to be a positive influence in the lives of other people. Very simple, not according to some the best vision statement or purpose statement because it didn't. What they said it needed to be measurable, and you could set a timeline and all of that. So what I have done, some other things that I can share with you if you're interested. They have they have it is evolved to I want to help at least 453,000 people to reach their goals and dreams. So that'll show up a lot of different ways. Maybe it'll be through a podcast, it might be through a message, it might be through a class, a keynote address, or it might be through you. Maybe there's something that I say that involves you or inspires you. I'll count that too. Then maybe we need to make it 453 million. Who knows? Because you may touch tens of thousands of people. Somebody asked me, what do I think of Jill Scott? Okay, that's Ricky. Well, you know what? I may not be answering all these questions, but I'll just tell you, I sure love her music. If that's what you're talking about, and I've seen a few things from her. I saw her live one time. I was a little surprised, but man, the woman can sing. God bless her. So I say, hello there, Margot. Somebody said hello. By the way, if there is something that you really want to accomplish, I think you have the YouTube channel, Clifton McKnight, Leverage Me Too. I also have a tenant placement website. I help people find apartments in the Maryland area or housing. And I have some others that I may be getting started, but let's get these 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, I think it is. And let's create that stream of income. And if you'd like to do that, let me know. And of course, there's certain ways you can do that with other social media. TikTok, I hear, is hot, and I don't even have a TikTok thing yet. I let it back down so I could have more space. I'm going to get a second phone just so that I can keep business going and not get gummed up, because as it gets low, it slows down. So look at that, a good friend. Now, I just got a phone call. I don't know if you could hear it. I could see it. I'll call him back. But this is a gentleman who is in his mid 90s. You hear me? Mid 90s. And he's visiting churches and touching lives. And his name is James Dennis. And one of his catchwords, phrases is, "It's my best day ever." Whenever you call him, whenever you see him, he'll say, "It's my best day ever." And it's gotten a catch on, and everybody that sees him, hey, best day ever. But the message behind that is, it's the only day you really have. The day you have that's past is gone, so it can't be better than today because you're alive today. And you can't count on tomorrow. So I like that. Just like we were talking about focusing on certain things, if you focus on good, you can make today your best day ever. All right. So what I would do is I'll ask you, what is it? I'm sorry about the rocking. I have a stand that I couldn't locate for this, but I'll get another one if I have to. I want to ask you, what can you do, or what do you want to do to make a better tomorrow today? And you can begin that process if you haven't already, or if you have, you can forward that process by being a resource to others. I know that sounds a little backwards. I just asked you what you want, and then I said be a resource to others. But this is the thing, it works. You can't put perfume on somebody else without getting some on yourself. Didn't I say that before? You get it? So I'm asking you to be of service. Barbara Talley was the one who told me, Cliff, I'm going to take care of God business and let him handle mine. I said, well, that's a pretty good deal. I think I'll try to adopt some of that too. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I know that when things happen in life, sometimes all of the good thoughts and feelings that go out of the window because we get stressed out. And I know that there's something called urgency. And the guy's name, you probably have heard him. Uh, It'll come to me, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Great book, great 7 strategies. But he talked about how easy it is to get blown away by the weather. And when we talk about the weather, we're talking about other people's negative. He does a whole lot of stuff. I will encourage you to read the 7 Habits, as well as look up his next one called the 8th Habit, because the 8th Habit captivates what I am talking with you about virtually. And that is not only finding my voice and expressing myself, but helping others to find theirs. So, and what he mentioned in the 7 Habits is that there is a space between a stimulus and the reaction. That space is what transfers a reaction into a response. You see, a response is more uh, thoughtful, controlled, created. A reaction is being blown against the rocks, reacting. I didn't mean to hit him back, but he hit me, or I didn't mean to, but they just got me upset. And the thing is that if we pause, you might still want to swing on them, or you still might choose to yell, but at least you paused enough to say, is that really in the best interest of the situation and me? And I think we can borrow a lot from that space between. And sometimes it's a tenth of a second, but we are mightily, wonderfully made. And a whole lot can get accomplished in our minds and our spirits in a tenth of a second. Okay? So I may have gotten carried away. If some of you might be getting a little bored, I can let you go. But I'll be back. And I want you to know that as we grow, you can we can make it a part of your financial legacy, your spiritual legacy, your even you can even create maybe jobs for someone else or help other people to start their own businesses. What do you think? Every time you think of something that helps someone else, if you can communicate to yourself in such a way that you can monetize it, I use the word monetize, then I think you're getting double pleasure, double your pleasure, double your fun. I don't know if any of you remember Doublemint gum. I know I'm starting to date myself every time I come up with an example. But we're going to give you some more stuff, and I'm hoping that you have subscribed to my channel. You like some of my videos. I'm learning. If you know some things about how to do, please let me know. I'll link my channel, or I don't know how you say it, but I'll like and subscribe for one, and we'll just get things done together. Here's a quick thing before I close. If you're an accountant, if you're a bookkeeper, if you're a marketer, if you are a, what else might you be? If you have a gym or a workout facility, those things that you have are things you can focus on to do well, and you can provide some of that service and skill, monetize it even, and do well for someone else. If you can just remember to give people more than what they expect and what they paid for, you'll never run out of clients. All right, so do that. Let's stay in touch. And I look forward to being in front of your uh, tablet or phone or computer another time, and we'll make it fine. God bless you. This is Clifton McKnight saying, if you can't calm the waters, learn to ride the waves. Have a great day.